Good afternoon, everyone. California Senate Bill 1161 allows us to prosecute parties that have deceived or misled the public on the risks of climate change. I like the way the law was written so broadly. We can go after the global warming fraudsters here. Al Gore claiming the cap will disappear in the Arctic, yet look at all the ice today. Antarctica was supposed to be melting into infinity as well. Global Arctic and Antarctic sea ice over extended periods. Now they can't explain the melting ice, so you know what? The global warming is hiding underwater. That is climate alarmism. Also, the sea level rises. University of Colorado clearly manipulating data. If it's getting so warm, how do the Great Lakes have the fourth most ice coverage since the satellite era began? Number of blizzards doubling in the past 20 years. It's a dust bowl around 1930 with the temperatures before it was manipulated by NASA's disappear the dust bowl. Now we're the warmest ever. Future summers could be hotter on record. That is climate alarmism. Get your team of lawyers ready. We're going after the global warming crowd and their forecasts of doom that have never come true. If you haven't been following the news, California tried to pass a Senate Bill 1161 that allowed prosecution of anybody that's misled or deceived the public on the risks of climate change. It's so broadly worded, which left the door open for them to get prosecuted themselves. Anything that's climate change fraud or climate alarmism falls under this broad category. So you know what, Al Gore? You predicted and tried to scare everybody that the ice caps were going to be gone by 2013, 2014, and then 2015 had more ice. BBC coming out, that is climate alarmism. Sierra Club, climate alarmism. Here's the amount of ice today. You can be prosecuted under that law as well. So none of your predictions have come true. The melting of Antarctica, you can see it's actually gaining ice, and this is NASA's own data set. Taking a look at the Antarctic ice extent today, you can clearly see it's within the average 2% deviation. Look here on cryosphere for you. Now NASA can't even decide if the warming oceans causing the Antarctic shelf loss or if deep ocean currents explain why Antarctica is not melting. There's actually new studies coming out that saying Antarctica is gaining the most ice it's gained in the last 300 years. Taking a look over time, global Arctic and Antarctic sea ice temperatures over the satellite era, it doesn't deviate that much. So that is climate alarmism. We should get our lawyers and start coming right after the predictors of no more ice on our planet. That's scaring everybody, and that is false, misleading information. So since the sea ice is not melting the way they predicted it would, now global warming is hiding underwater. And the European Space Agency saying that it's not the end of global warming, it's just a dispersion of the energy flow in the climate system. Ocean temperatures looking the same, but you know, when we look at El Nino, La Nina, doesn't that match the exact same chart you just saw? Atlantic Ocean temperatures generally modulate the northern hemispheric temperatures. If all the heat's hiding underwater, North Atlantic sea surface temperatures down. Atlantic multidecadal oscillation down. South Atlantic really not rising. Pacific coming off into La Nina. Now we take a look over longer time at 100 years, and you can really see that it's dropping there. Try to explain the cold blob in the middle of the Atlantic. Also, the Indian Ocean looking pretty cool down in the southern hemisphere. And in the Arctic, still covered by a majority of ice. More climate alarmism, sea levels due to rise based on global warming predictions, which never came true. So that is prosecutable as well because you have lied and you are climate alarmists, scaring people, and none of your predictions have come true. So University of Colorado, you manipulated data. You can be sued as well. This is what they came up with after they skewed the data. Looks like a nice upward trend, doesn't it? Also, Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research saying we're going to need to try to pump water away because the sea levels will rise so much. Climate alarmism, we can sue you. This skewed data comes out from NASA itself to show sea level rise. As you can see just what fraud that straight up is. Great Lakes, fourth most ice cover in the satellite era. Shouldn't be happening if it's going to be the warmest year ever. Number of blizzards doubling in the past 20 years. Future summers could be hotter than any on record. National Science Foundation, we can sue you because of the manipulated data here. Dust Bowl in the 1930s showing clearly warmer than today, yet NASA gets their hands on it. Today is warmer than the Dust Bowl. How does that happen? I do want you to notice here, these are the satellite-based temperatures that they're saying the warmest year ever. May, 0.55. No, remember that number. I know we're trying to use GISS temperature measurements to show 0.95 degrees, yet in their news release, May 2016, it's 0.93. They can't even agree in their own news release what the temperature difference was. So there's straight up manipulation. That is prosecutable as well. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. Please assemble your team of lawyers and really look into this. When it comes back again and does get passed, go directly after the global warming scare people who are purposely manipulating and misleading the public. This falls right under the broad range of what they're saying is prosecutable. And if California is really going to start coming after people that have divergent opinions with different scientific information to go against what the CO2 global warming is, they just opened a can of worms, because we can come right back with our data and start suing those people who are climate alarmists. None of their predictions have come true in 15 years. So their models are defunct and should be thrown out in the garbage along with the politicians who passed this law or tried to. If you like this kind of information, please jump over to Patreon. You can support me on my channel over there so I can continue to create these types of works for you.